You know, the greatest enemy is one that has nothing to lose, is an enemy of the state. Now, 5 suspects have been arrested by the Transport Secretariat of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja. They specialize in vandalizing perimeter fences, communication cables, and rail tracks. They have vandalized the Abuja Light Rail Track, and the mandate secretary of the Transportation Secretariat, Uboka Nyah, vows they would be dealt with. Can he walk the talk? You expect him to?
Yeah, I believe at least they have been apprehended. Well, I feel that it shouldn't stop there, because if you look at, I'm looking at a whole, you know, act of stealing. Now, we are looking at the perimeter fencing. We are looking at the communication cables and rail tracks. Why perimeter fencing? To make available thoroughfare for them. Why the communication cables? These are very expensive cables. These are armored cables that the market price is high. So going there to steal, they are very deliberate, obviously. And also, we shouldn't forget that they have ready markets somewhere.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, aside apprehending them, they need to quiz them. Who are the buyers? Because if there are no buyers, there will be no sellers.
Yeah.
Who are the buyers? There are some people somewhere, and these are not just the kind of cable you just want to buy in one small market. These are very expensive cables, and they are for big projects. So we need to know who the buyers are. And I'm very positive that if they are very well quizzed, they will come out with the information.
Yeah. Tony, sometimes let's give them credit when it is due. When the police wants to work, it will. You know, you have apprehended these people. Going the whole hog is the problem. Because we have this history of not punishing criminals in this country.
Until you start punishing, until you start having commensurate punishment for crimes.
Yeah.
And effectively follow up. Things like this will continue to happen. These days you hear about criminals stealing iron, drainage covers, iron drainage covers, rail tracks. It wasn't part of, I grew up in Lagos and I live close to Fadi,
Tony,
as a child.
The other day we heard the new second Niger bridge is being vandalized.
Stolen, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So, and we had this rail track, if you know Fadi very well, down to Nipanda access. I never, at times you trek on that, to Yaba and all that. I had never seen or heard cases where rail tracks, components are stolen. This thing just started recently, and one thing I noticed about Nigeria is it starts, and then we look confused, and then it continues, and it comes to stay eventually.
Yeah.
How did we get to this point? Who are those people? Just as Ibinebo said.
Yeah.
Can we just get those people? Because there are people who are buying this stuff. It started suddenly from nowhere. We need to curtail it seriously, because when you start vandalizing rail tracks, that's a big time sabotage, because you're putting lives of people or passengers of that train at risk. Most times they don't even survive.
When I said these are men, well, sometimes women, sometimes women who have nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose, and that's why we have to be careful with them.
Yes.
And that's why we have to be, we must fold our sleeves to get them. It has to stop. It was never before. Today you hear that rail line and train derails. It's like it's becoming a norm in Nigeria that you have. We don't used to hear this before. So until we start doing the right thing, criminality in Nigeria will continue. Most times you hear these people being paraded by the police, just as you said. So the police, if they want to work, they want to work.
If they want to
parade them. But after the parade, what happens? Execution. What happens to prosecution? Do you prosecute them? Do they jail them? Do they come out again tomorrow? I mean, this is Nigeria. Let's be realistic. People walk to the police station and say that. That is my person. I mean, until we start dealing with it decisively, we're just joking.
Even about sometimes you wonder if when somebody asks you, how did we get here? Now you know how we got here. By choice.
By choice.
By choice.
And I was listening to him while he was giving his submission. You see, if you are looking at the criminal propensity scale, or should I say, if you're looking at the age brackets of such, you can't get it. Because, before, when you hear about robbers, armed robbers, they usually fall within a particular age bracket. But this time, you can't really peg the age bracket to a particular group. You get under 16 years. We are joined by Kasim. Kasim is our first caller. He's joining us from Kaduna. Good evening, Kasim. How are you?
Respect to these rail vandals.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I will contribute here is this. Just like the other uncle said, it's important to know who are the buyers. Because if there are no buyers, nobody will bring it for someone to. What will he do with it without buyer? So, like now, I'm from Kaduna State. I can assure you from Kafanchan precisely, all the rail tracks from Katia, Zonkwa to Kafanchan, even inside the railway station, it's one of the biggest railway stations in the country. It has been vandalized. Everything has been stolen.
Wow.
So who are those buyers? So the government, even the security agencies, they are in collaboration with those people that are vandalizing those rail tracks.
All right.
See them over the night, just behind my house. So let's be realistic and get the culprits. Who are the buyers?
Thank you.
Very important.
He has dropped it. He is echoing what you said earlier on. Let's go to the root of the matter. Where is the market? Who buys these things?
If you look at what they stole, these are not items that somebody will just wake up and say, I want to go and steal.
Yeah.
So probably if you profile them properly, maybe they're even engineers. It is you don't just wake up, you don't know the right tools to use.
Yeah.
How do you know the right tool to use? How do you know where exactly to get the cables? How do you know how the cables are fixed underneath the rail? So there is more to all of this, and until we get to the bottom of it, and like he said, commensurate punishment.
That's it. Okay. We cannot but wish the mandate secretary of the Transportation Secretariat, Uboka Nyah, we cannot but wish you Godspeed. Walk the talk.